Hey YouTube, it's Eric from the Reptile Room. I have honestly been struggling with some ideas for videos to put out this week, so I figure why don't we just take a little look around. So we've changed some things since the last time we had a video like this showing where things are in the store, but we've got a few things going on. So this is us, this is the Reptile Room. We're on Young Road in Chilliwack, and if you come along with me, this right here is our front door. This is not available for purchase. This is what keeps the cold out. But when you first walk in, things, well, they're a little tight right now, but that's expected to change. We are building a zoo in the back over there, but that's still very much under renovation. So, I mean, you walk in, you see some supplies, some substrate. Here we have some lovely little isopods from mostly just geckos. And these guys are what we use as cleanup crews. These guys will eat mold and poop within the enclosures and turn it into plant food. Then we have some supplements and some supplies over here. We have a Salem. Salem works here. He does great work. There we go. Salem is not available for purchase. Now, if we move on over this way, we've got some lovely little tropical plants. All the plants that we have here work well in bioactive enclosures. They are fertilizer and pesticide free. We specifically order them that way because obviously the reptiles don't like, well, eating pesticide and fertilizer. Right here we have some lovely little Geckos. These guys are just some rescues that were dropped off who they're in much better shape now, so we're looking for some new homes for these guys, and we'll be hearing this one in the background quite a bit. He loves to wobble around on his little wheel, whereas this fella here, he's just a little piggy. He likes the food, don't you, little guy? How you doing? Yeah, you're pretty sweet, aren't you? So we'll close that on up and we'll carry on. This right here is a gumball machine by Cuskulls. I don't recommend eating these gumballs. They're actually little bits of taxidermy and stickers and gemstones, just fun little trinkets for when people come in with their kids. And, well, reptiles are a big commitment, but things like this, lovely little things for kids to have to play with. And then over here we have some quails available. These are the Swiss Army knife of birds. These guys make lovely little eggs if you like tiny omelets. And they can also be neat little pets to have around the house. Now, in Chilliwack here, you can't really keep these outside due to municipal bylaw, but you can keep them inside in certain ways, and oh, they're just cute. They're like chickens, but much smaller, and, well, frankly, they're a lot more polite. Let's close that on up. There we go, lovely. Moving over here, we have some New Caledonian geckos and other stuff available. Right here, these are mystery boxes made by a taxidermist who works here, actually, and she does really nice work with some moose jaws above it. And then we've got some young crested geckos available. This right here is pretty neat. This is called a mourning gecko. And these are all female, and there it is. These are parthenogenetic, so once this gets to full size, which isn't much bigger than this, these guys will just start laying eggs and little clones of them will come out. And then we have a little bit more of a display bioactive tank happening over here with this lovely little retired crested gecko. He's had a couple seasons of breeding in him, and, well, now he's just looking for a nice little home to settle into, aren't you, little fella? Let's close him on up. Now this is our front desk. This is where we will greet you and help you. And that in the back, well, yeah, that looks pretty messy and crazy, but just wait, that'll be a reptile zoo one day, just a tiny one, until we can afford to make a big one. Under here we have a lovely little snake available. I think someone's actually put a deposit on this. This is a Ridley's Cave Racer, and it's well hidden in there now, which is frankly what these snakes like. I can actually see him. He's right there. We'll get a closer look at one of those in a minute. Moving on over, we've got our little for sale rack. We've got all sorts of little young snakes available that we've produced here for sale in here. Makes wonderful little temporary housing that's easy to keep sterile and in a controlled environment. It suits their needs pretty well for the time that they're here. And then we have this. This is all baby tarantulas or tarantula spiderlings, called slings in the hobby by shorthand. We've got a variety of things available, mostly New World tarantulas. These are some curly hair tarantulas that we actually produced, if you've seen that video. And then we've got a scorpion we've actually produced, and then a couple old world tarantulas. Those don't sell quite as fast because they move quite fast. And then here we have a couple of Spanish rib newts set up in here. These are a lovely little alternative to axolotls, which are now actually illegal to keep in BC. They have been for quite some time. I mean, you can keep them, but you're not allowed to sell them, and well, we're a storefront, so clearly we can't sell those. But yeah, Spanish rib newts, they're lovely little things. And then we have Roger. Roger is a rescue Chinese bearded dragon. Hey, this is Editor Eric. I'd just like to point out that this is in no way a bearded dragon. This is a Chinese water dragon, and I'm very tired and I need more coffee. And she's actually over 2 years old now. I don't know where she's hiding. Where are you at, Roger? And she came in with a few issues. Oh, there she is with a lovely little hat made of duckweed. But she's bounced back really well, so she's up for grabs with this whole setup once we can find a good home for her. Isn't that right, sweetheart? You're a good girl. Moving over here, we've got some rescue bearded dragons. We get a lot of bearded dragons dropped off here, so we're always looking for homes for those guys. This is Captain Hook, named aptly as Captain Hook. Has a little nub where, well, I haven't put a hook on there. I wouldn't recommend that. I don't think these guys do very well with prosthetics. They wouldn't know how to adapt to that, but they've adapted really well without that. So Captain Hook is all recovered after his drop-off, and he's looking for a home now. And then in here, we have an Egyptian Eurymastix. These are pretty neat. And this one is a little skittish, but let's see if we can get a better look. Excuse me, buddy. There you are. Oh, where are you going? Come on back. This thing's pretty quick and I'm pretty not. But let's not repeat the pink-bellied swift experience on us. Okay, there we go. Little Egyptian Eurymastix. These guys actually get quite large. We're looking at 30 to 36 inches one day, so coming up on 3 feet more or less. But they're a cool little lizard, and a great alternative for people who want a lizard but don't want to feed them bugs, because these guys, they eat seeds and they eat veggies. Another rescue bearded dragon. This is Bird. For the adults in the audience, you'll understand why the name Bird was chosen. You're a good boy. Above that, we have this little leopard gecko bioactive enclosure I put together a while ago. This has actually been purchased and is due to get picked up on Sunday. But I quite like how that turned out, and I hope the leopard gecko likes it too. Then we have some more tropical plants available in said spaces. Right here we have the pink-bellied swift. This little bugger almost got away from me last week. If you've seen the video on that, he's, well, the name Swift is a very good name, because they sure are. And then up here we have some phantasmal poison dart frogs. I don't know if I'm going to get it on the video. These guys are very itty-bitty and surprisingly good at hiding despite having somewhat bright coloration, but they've been thriving in here. And we have some other dart frogs coming next week, I think, so that might change things up a little bit, but pretty neat regardless. And then slightly less exciting, we have bugs. Reptiles like bugs. Well, many of them will eat them, so we have those available for purchase as well. Now, if we look over here, this is where all the magic happened. And this is also, unfortunately, where we're going to have to leave things off for today. It's getting super duper late, and there's still a bit of work to do, so we should have the rest of this up tomorrow, and if you tune in, we will see you then. Have a great night, guys.